EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Acrisure Stadium on the north shore of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Herbert going to go to the air right away. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Herbert now. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. He'll buy some time right. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run again with Harris. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. There he goes, right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Well, what a response by that defensive unit, Charles, because they just saw their offense throw the interception. They come out there, not only get an interception of their own, but they take it back for the touchdown.
I won't sing it because no one wants to hear that, but perhaps an early case of anything you can do, I can do better between these defenses. A lot of people came to expect the offense to light this game up, but so far, the defenses are stealing the show.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Taking it about the 1. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fowler. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
This is taken at the 23. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers will take over here just shy of the 30. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he hadn't made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well. I don't care what game it is, everyone's always looking for an early advantage, an early break, and they almost had one there. That should have been an interception. Nice catch. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds.
And offensively lucky to have that one back. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now here's the option play going left. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. On 3rd down, here's Harris. Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taking it about the 16. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play. Herbert has it knocked free, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun. Fowler. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Pat Fryermuth. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are an extra point away from evening this one up. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
To throw again on 2nd down. Herbert. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new...
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs. If you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
The Charger drive about to get going. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
Throwing again on second down. Herbert escaping the pressure right. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Going to throw on third down with Herbert. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. It's taken to the 26. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he stopped immediately there.
2nd and 10.
They run again with Harris. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The offense on third down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Fowler. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be taken at the 13. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And they do finally get him at the 12. A big play there for L.A. 69 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. The safety Terrell Edmonds picks it. And the Steelers will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. And he will find his man on the outside. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Eluding the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. And the Steelers will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me, because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now here's another carry for Harris. And some look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him, and once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
And if we turn to the next-gen stats, the final clocking, well, it's ridiculous. 22.5 miles an hour. The Charger drive about to get going.
And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Second and 9. They'll try the right side with Harris. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Fowler. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Harris running straight ahead. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Okay, ready.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going.
And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 61 yards.
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And to be honest, this first half hasn't been anything they'd be really proud about. So they needed something like this to change their fortunes. Now they need to make sure they finish this one off, not just with points, but with a touchdown.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air according to Next Gen Stats. Wow.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great...
He's got a man complete. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 68 yards.
And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And this offense has really just been humming all game long. So to me, they're just saying, we want to finish this one off in the third quarter so we can coast home in the fourth. And this is just a tremendous play. Something we've seen time and again from this offense.
Again, it's Harris. But he will go backwards as he stopped for a loss.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
And his kick here is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Charger drive about to get going. Herbert setting up to throw on first down. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Herbert. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it? The slot receivers are the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there, showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
On first down, it's Herbert. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And the slot man goes in motion left. Herbert back to the air. Looking deep downfield.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's Herbert.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Herbert wants to throw it on 3rd and 1. Touchdown, L.A. A great play there. 31 yards.
And the Chargers get a bit closer.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun. Fowler
finding Pickens for another catch.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
From the gun on 3rd down. Fowler. And that will be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded at the 20. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now it's Herbert. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball.
And now here's another interception. And the Steelers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that...
Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, I mean, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Herbert. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to get the football there as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 111 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. They hand this off to Harris. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Kenneth Murray, the linebacker, there to make the play defensively.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On the give, this is Harris. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. We've now seen 3 consecutive 1-yard gains, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Charger drive about to get going. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Meanwhile, Herbert's throw there complete to Allen. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw here, Herbert. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the 1st down. On 1st and 10, Herbert. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. He's going to go for a big play downfield.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
The slot man in motion right. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Here we go on 4th. Herbert. Going down the middle, and it's complete. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Herbert, he's going to let it go again. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
They're down 2 scores, and they need a quick one to try and get back into this one. That was one way to try and get it done. Unsuccessful in the attempt, but they have no choice but to keep trying.
Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep back over the middle. And this is caught inside the 5. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. Second down and goal. Herbert. Touchdown! From 6 yards away. And the Chargers go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. They do tack on the extra point as well. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only 1 timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here we go.
Here's Harris. And some room to work. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 132 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot. But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Pittsburgh, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Chargers,